Hello, I am Agent 72, and today we will be discussing SCP-1730, or Site-13. SCP-1730 is one of the largest files on the Wiki, and takes a ton of time to read through every report and addendum. The link to the file will be in the description of the video. Begin log. Item 1730, Site-13. Containment class, neutralized. The following is the SCP-1730 data file as it appeared before its reclassification as neutralized. Some inconsistencies may persist. Description: SCP-1730 is a large complex of structures 15 kilometers northwest of the US-Mexico border, within Big Bend Ranch State Park, that was discovered on June 5th, redacted. Due to the isolated nature of the complex, and the low survival rate of individuals who come in contact with it, it is possible that SCP-1730 had been previously discovered but unreported. SCP-1730 bears identifying marks and contains documents to support the claim that SCP-1730 was at one point Foundation Site-13, originally located near Nome, Alaska. This conflicts with current records, which show that Site-13 was a project, while intended to be constructed in Nome, was scrapped for the larger and more advanced Site-19 and never completed. Flora located on site have been traced back to those native to the Alaskan region. How SCP-1730 came to be at its current location is unknown. SCP-1730 is in a severe state of disrepair and appears to have been left abandoned for an extended period of time. The site power generator has continued to operate in an undamaged state, despite the number of fuel leaks and fires throughout the facility. This has resulted in intermittent power failures throughout the site, hindering exploration and rescue efforts. The origin of SCP-1730 is unknown, as is the nature of many of the anomalous entities contained within. It is confirmed that the 2nd through 15th basement levels were utilized through entity containment. Through the state of that containment has deteriorated significantly. It is believed that a contingent of human survivors exists somewhere in the deep, lower basement levels of the facility. Messages written in English have been discovered throughout the site, consisting of warnings such as "Danger" and "Death Here", and other messages such as "Not My Body" and "Bleed". A recurring message, "What happened to Site-13", has been found in several different locations in the basements. Several logs of data have been collected by the remaining functional site terminals, the relevant data of which is contained in several addendums. Worth noting is that inconsistencies exist between the logs and what has been determined through exploration, including site layout, staff makeup, and contained anomalies. Special containment procedures. A circular perimeter has been established 2 kilometers from SCP-1730, and a quarantine zone has been established 1 kilometer from SCP-1730. Personnel who are to enter SCP-1730 must first undergo Class 7 hazardous contact preparation measures, including the application of a modified Maxwell-hardened hazardous material reinforced airtight suit. The application of these protective measures may only take place at Provisional Site-23, quarantine at main gate. Individuals attempting to exit the quarantined area must first submit to thorough decontamination protocols as administered by the quarantine security staff. Individuals failing to meet the quarantine extraction parameters are to be held for further decontamination, or in the event decontamination becomes infeasible, termination. The following addendums are composed of audio transmissions and recovered material from Site-13. Addendum 1030.1 Recovered Log. Date of recovery redacted. Team Charlie Yukon. Assignment Site-13 Recovery. Lead CY-1. Begin log.
We found it. Watched it kill Daly earlier. Crawled right into his mouth. Next thing you know, Daly's got blood leaking out of his ears, puking it up, shitting it out everywhere. Blood looks funny too. Too dark. It was running out of his hair, like through the follicles. His hair fell out right with it. Once it was over, the thing that crawled inside him crawled back out with a buddy. One of them, can't say which, drinks up all of his blood like a leech. The other one comes back inside Daly and turns around, starts coming at us. I can see that thing inside him when he opens his mouth. So I put a bullet in his face, then another. We emptied our cooled magazines into him. He didn't get up after that. We're not going to be too much longer, though. Found another one of those messages down here, you know. Cognito hazard expunged. Just a matter of time before it starts. We stuck some C4 to it and blew the wall. And I think it's pretty illegible at this point, but it doesn't matter. Jones already went quiet like the others. We shoved him down an elevator shaft earlier. Didn't hear the body hit the ground. Think I just heard them start up pressure. Wish we would have known about that sooner. Oh well.
Addendum 1730.2 Recovered automated message. The following message was recovered from SCP-1030's emergency warning system. Logs on file indicate that it was transmitted moments prior to a major electrical disturbance and 3 minutes before an explosion within the site power relay. General notice. Site-13 has experienced a gross breach of containment systems. Cognito hazard expunged. Has breached containment during testing. On-site nuclear devices are non-responsive. Thresher protocol has been activated. The following is a list of systems recovered with the automated message, indicating the status of the current systems. Addendum 1730.6 Received audio transmission. The following audio transmission was picked up when monitoring equipment on the morning of February 1st, 2016. The transmission, both speech and an encrypted signal that followed, has been repeating on a continuous loop since it was first detected. The contents of the transmission are as follows.
Hello, my name is Dr. Mohammed Scott. I am a researcher within SCP Foundation's Site-13 Temporal Studies Division. Myself and my team were abandoned within Site-13 during a recent catastrophic event, the full details of which we do not know. We are currently surrounded by hostile entities and other hazardous anomalies. Of the original 30 members of my team, only 12 remain. To any Foundation operatives listening on this channel, we are asking for assistance. Our supplies are dangerously low, as is our ammunition. Without aid, this unlikely will last another month. Following this message will be an encrypted adjusted VMS transmission, decipherable by standard 1980s Foundation technology. The information within that transmission will contain our location, as well as we can describe it. The transmission is wired by dead man switch to myself, will be played on continuous loop until such time that I die. Please help us. Thank you.
Addendum 1730.5 Collected data logs. The following addendums are a series of recovered material from Site-13 exploration logs. The following is a letter sent with a picture. Director Emerson. Before we get started, let me just say that the number of things was always data expunged. If you want to properly dehumanize your researchers, you put them in cubicles. The number were a joke from the beginning. If you're reading this, then you're left with a decision. What did you think was going to happen? Throwing the bodies of anomalies into that pit? Did you think that their being alive made them anomalous? Hell, being alive is the least anomalous part of our humanity. I thought you might have seen that, but then things have changed. The containment breach was my fault. I won't lie to you. In my research, I had the pleasure of analyzing a young boy His name was Elijah. He subsided only on blood, and he could siphon it through others with his mouth, right through their skin, like a leech. He had no mental capacity beyond 2 years, and yet he deserved the same chance to live as the rest of us. He did not choose to be the way he was. Then you decided to have him burned, like the rest of them. So I modified his record. The fires of your pit won't have incinerated him, just agitated him. And that sludge that's been building up, I'm glad you cared to get it cleaned up. I'm sure you're glad too. It's pretty awful down there. Anyway, your decision. Containment breach was inevitable, and whether it was something that crawled out of the pit that did it, or my hand on the button makes no difference. You have the choice to make. Either stay your course and certainly be devoured by the creatures you have been torturing for the last 15 years, or activate the Thresher device and hope it dumps you out in a more hospitable reality than your own. Either way, our world will be rid of you and your filth, and be better for it. This is your death camp, Elliot. You make your bed, and now you die in it. Sincerely, Hadley. P.S. I don't know if you even remember when this photo was taken, but I'm pretty sure you'll recognize your own face. Amazing how much can just change in a few years, isn't it? All because you were chasing a promotion. Incredible. I hope it was worth it. Oh yeah, and if you decide you want to talk this one out, I'll be down in the basement with Elijah. I've got a nice warm spot for him to get you set up when he arrives. You've made sure there will be plenty of blood. This document is a letter addressed to a Dr. Hadley. It goes, Dear Dr. Hadley, 340. We have received your communication, and thank you for taking the time to contact us. We have considered your request, but at this time we cannot approve any transfers. If you are at Site-13, you are there because of your superb level of professionalism and aptitude in your profession, and we cannot have you somewhere else. You may speak to your site pharmacist about an amnetic regimen, if you like, but we will not allow you to transfer from Site-13. As for your concerns about Director Emerson's mortuary protocol, we understand your complaints. However, you must understand that anomalies, especially those classified as humanoid, are not human beings. Human beings have fallen into a very specific category of non-anomalous life forms. Humanoid anomalies may appear to be human, but are simply humanoid. As such, they are not entitled to the rights and privileges afforded to human beings by the Ethics Committee. Our job as researchers is to identify where anomalies come from, and then to identify how to best utilize those anomalies for the benefit of mankind. We are protectors, and we cannot protect unless we know everything there is to know about the threat at hand. Once we have learned what we can learn, we neutralize the threat. If you have any other questions, please do not hesitate to contact our offices. Sincerely, Peter Greenwald, SCP Foundation Ethics Committee Chair, Global Occult Coalition Ethics Board Head. Several other addendums that are not included here reference to the exploration of Site-13 using mobile task forces, the extraction of the task forces and researchers, as well as the vanishing of Site-13, and several mission debriefing documents. The conclusion must be drawn that it appears that Site-13 was created in another reality, as a singular site regulated by the SCPF and GOC personnel. They attempted to contain every single SCP there. They would then research the SCPs as much as they could before destroying them in a large compactor. One of the researchers most likely disagreed with Director Emerson's way of working, and attempted to block a drainage pipe. This caused a large containment breach due to an SCP composed of blood, leaking leeches and causing a full site containment breach. The results of this SCP breaching may have caused the Euclid and Keter containment chambers safety protocols to deactivate, causing a full breach. There must have been some dimensional warping caused by the Thresher device, which is located on the lower levels. The device is active and has been created as a backup if the warheads failed in the event of a massive containment breach. The Thresher device was most likely designed to warp the site into another reality. The site is still currently unstable, causing hallways to move regularly, most likely leading to the disappearance of SCP-1730. The SCP is now classified as neutralized. I would once again thank you all for listening. I would also like to give a shout out to everybody who helped with the voice recordings for Site-13 addendum logs. Their links can be found in the description below. Please like and subscribe. Agent 72, out.